theoretically at least half Angora. I can never tell, but as you guys know, I'm a big Bond fan, so I always wanted an Angora cat. But so yeah, she's grown quite a bit. I don't know if she'll ever really be a big kitty, but it's good that she's not really fragile anymore. Because when I first got her, she was absolutely tiny. But if I had to describe her, Raine's a pretty playful girl. She is very friendly. She gets along well with. I've had friends over, and she gets along well with my parents. It takes her obviously a bit of time to get used to them. From my understanding, one of the main things that makes cats friendly is if they've had a lot of interaction with people since they're young. And since I've been at my apartment doing like when I've been working or not working, pretty much since I've got her, she's had a lot of socialization. But she'll let me pick her up sometimes. If I'm at my parents', she'll sometimes sleep in my lap, which is pretty cute. But generally speaking, she just likes to be close to me, or at least in a position where she can watch me. We found that my parents' cat and her, they don't really get in fights, but Rain wants to play with another cat, and he's like 18 years old and doesn't like it. And if she bothers him, he starts peeing all over the place. So we just keep her in the basement, which is a big basement. Don't get me wrong; it's bigger than my apartment. But she she would follow me around the house. Like if I was in my room, she'd follow me in there and sit down. So I think the thing with cats is they are social animals. In some ways, as social as dogs, they just aren't pack animals. From my understanding, female cats live together in nature, and they raise their kittens together. I don't think male cats do, which is why male cats need to be fixed. And once they're fixed, they're a lot more pleasant to deal with because they aren't primarily driven by reproductive urges anymore. They're just kind of more chill. But so the thing is, though, cats just, I think dogs act a lot more like humans do. I know that's maybe a weird thing to say, or their social structure is kind of more human like. And because of that, they they are seen as being more social. Also, dogs are just a lot more obvious about it, probably because they've been bred more, like to understand things like pointing, to just fetch thrown objects. Dogs also are just obsessive in their need for attention. If you don't give a dog attention, it'll just go berserk. Whereas cats actually do like attention. Like if I like in the morning when I come down and Rain hears my voice, and she's in the basement, she immediately starts mewing and begging for me to come see her. And that doesn't mean necessarily she wants me to like spend half an hour petting her like a dog, but she does very much like having me around and gets upset if I'm not around for a long period of time. So here we go. Let's see if she lets me bite. She's gonna bite me. She always bites me whenever we do these videos. Ow! Don't do that. She doesn't bite me. She bites a bit. I mean, with cats, it's once again, it's not like her being defensive. Obviously, you can see here she's not being defensive or aggressive or anything. I think it's mostly that they just do that when they're playing. They also do that when they're cleaning themselves. They'll bite knots and stuff out of their fur. And sometimes they just get kind of overstimulated. It's kind of interesting what someone pointed out to me is that all mammals like being stroked, or almost all mammals like being stroked, including humans. Um, and I mean, stuff like holding hands, obviously there's sexual things, but even like in a non sexual context, like parents will stroke their children, or just people like physical contact, and cats and other mammals are like that as well. So sometimes they can get a little overstimulated um, just from being touched too much. Rain, you're always like such a scaredy cat whenever I'm doing this. Ow, ow. You give people the impression you're like mean all the time or something like that. It's kind of interesting. So, I've been reading a bit about like body language because it's very important for cats how they communicate. So, like this, for example, her sleeping next to me is a sign that she really trusts me because obviously, if you're sleeping, you're vulnerable. Likewise, her showing me her belly is a sign that it's not really submission, that's more of a dog thing, I think, but it's a sign that she trusts me because she's showing her most vulnerable part to me. So maybe let's just get a better look at her coloring. Okay, girl. So I got kind of lucky because she does have the stripe. I think on her face is really nice. I like that her coloring is, girl, look up here, consistent. Like there's not splotches. It's like the full-on tuxedo pattern all the way down. And she has kind of a nice white belly. I kind of prefer that. Some cats will just have like a splosh of color on their face or something like that. And then, girl, could you maybe just stand up for a sec? She has kind of that zigzag. So it's mostly black, but there's a zigzag there. There's a zigzag there, and then there's another one there. Sorry, girl. Let me just... Yeah, see? And then the rest obviously is black. Although I call them gloves on her, but she does have black. The black comes a bit down her arms, but yeah. She has a very long tail and just a very long body in general. Here, girl, I'm going to harass you a bit. Let's move over to the bed. Ow. Ow. Ow, stop biting me. Do you want to lay out maybe so you can show people how long you are? Come on, girl. I don't know. Sorry, I'm sure she'll be angry at me, but she forgives. Yeah, Raine is a very long kitty. My mother says like her head looks really small compared to her body, and that's probably true. But I think cats they're like any kind of small mammal or any kind of mammal. They grow at different rates. Her tail is really long. It's kind of hard to see, maybe the perspective is off, but it's like as long as her body. So I don't know if she'll grow into it or not, but you always have to wonder what they think of cameras. They probably just think we're retarded. It's kind of funny because Clint from Clint's Reptiles was talking about how animals view us, in terms of intelligence. And his point was dolphins probably think we're retarded because we drown in water. Cats probably think we're retarded because we can't jump from a standing position 5 times the height of our body, or run at 40 kilometers an hour, or any of the other kind of crazy acrobatic things they can do. So yeah, she's been a good girl. She eats a lot. I feed her Costco food, which she seems to greatly enjoy. I mean, it's from my understanding, the Costco food is like the best of the budget, or no, the kind of mass market stuff. It's very inexpensive, but it's made from good quality ingredients, and there's nothing really weird in it. It's just like chicken and ground chicken and some omega-3 oils, and they even use brown rice instead of corn, which is nice. But I mean, she definitely seems very healthy. Bright eyes. Her fur has a really nice sheen to it. Obviously, yeah. So I mean, that's good because Costco food is extremely cheap. In the time I've had her, I've only gone through 1.5 bags of it. So I guess a bag of it lasts 4 or 5 months. And she eats quite a bit. I mean, just because she's growing. But I also get her some wet food. Partially because she probably doesn't need it, but she goes absolutely insane whenever I put wet food out. Absolutely berserk. I sometimes feel a bit jealous because her wet food actually smells pretty good. Because, I mean, when you think about it, cat food is ground chicken liver. So it is literally pate. Ow, 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 stop. And ground tuna and whitefish and stuff like that. It's kind of interesting. So what a meat byproduct is, it sounds like some weird chemical thing. That's the part of the animal. Ow! Like that would be stuff like skin, ligaments, tendons, small bones, uh, organ meat. It's not actually anything weird or unhealthy. It's just stuff that humans, generally speaking, don't like eating, but is important for cats. I kind of wonder if anyone feeds their cats mice, because you could probably feed them frozen thawed rodents. It would just maybe be messy. Um, but yeah, she's eating, she's growing, she's obviously pretty healthy and alert. So I'm very happy with her. I mean, that's just kind of the issue, though, that a lot of people are facing these days. It was kind of hard to find her, like I said, because I had to get her off of Kijiji because all the shelters were closed and still are closed. So I couldn't adopt a kitten. I think I wound up spending about $300 for her because she's allegedly a half Angora, and then another 50 for delivery because they didn't want me to go pick her up, which I guess is fair enough. But cats are kind of interesting because they're pretty inexpensive once you get them set up. Like when I first got her, I had to get her shots, I had to get her microchipped, I had to get her spayed. When I got her, she had a parasite I had to take care of, which is good because she smelled really bad for the first month I had her. But now that that's all done, I mean, what does she can take up? She has like Costco food, which costs like $30 Canadian every 4 months. Litter, which is literally just modified sand, and water, which is basically free. So, um, it's just she doesn't cost anything until she does. And she probably, well, I guess I buy her toys and stuff. She doesn't really need that. She has lots of toys, but I mean, it's fun to spoil your cat a bit. I don't really spend a ton of money on any of them, but every time I'm at the dollar store, maybe I'll get her some mice or something. And like all cats, she'll play with it for 5 minutes, get bored, and then go back to chasing a piece of string or like a cardboard box or some wrapping paper or something. But yeah, it's nice that she's standing here. Um, Another thing I always find interesting is how lions and other big cats have the exact same body language. Like if you watch them, the way they move, the way they like clean themselves, the way they sit is like exactly the same as how these cats deal with it. So the coloring today, it almost looks brown. I guess it's just a gray because of a mixture of the actually, why don't we have you here, Raine? Okay, you're gonna be just, if you can be good for a minute. Almost done. Almost done. So something tuxedo cats will have is if you look at the pads on her feet, normally cats have pale skin or not pigment in it, but the tuxedo patterning gene, she's kind of hard to get to. I know you don't like having your feet touched, Raine, but yeah, I don't know, sorry. You can kind of see she has black splotches there. And from my understanding, the same gene that gives her that patterning also causes that. But, ow, ow, ow. She really likes this sweater for some reason. Cats are kind of like autistic in terms of what they like. Like, she loves this pillow. She likes to knead it. Let me see if I can get her to do that. Ow, ow. Arr. Come on, girl. Knead the pillow. So what she'll often do in the morning is jump on me, go over to the pillow, and knead it. From my understanding, cats knead things as a sign that they're happy. Well, it's partially because they're happy. It's partially to mark it with their scent. But, yeah, so. Anyways, she's lying here, wanting to play with me. It's been a great comfort having her around. Just during COVID, I mean, you can't go anywhere. You can't really see anybody. I'm not very social. I'm exceedingly introverted in real life. But I can't go sit down at a restaurant. I can't go to a movie theater. I can't even go to a mall and just kind of wander around. So it's been really nice to have her around. And yeah. I know it's kind of a bit out of place for my channel, but I mean, it's my channel. I can do whatever I want with it. I have a cute cat, so I might as well use her. People seem to like the Raine videos. Once again, I just produce a lot of different content. If people want a certain type of, like, if people don't want to watch a cat video, this is very obviously a cat video. I'll put something political or something anime related up in a day or two. But yeah. So Raine, can we get a meow? Meow. Meow. No, she doesn't want to meow at the moment. Oh well, girl. So talk to you later. Ow! Ow! Ow!